Okay, when I say the word Songkran, what's the first thing that pops into your head? For most people, it's this incredible image of total joyous chaos, right? Streets packed with people, everyone's got a super soaker. It's literally the world's biggest water fight. But what if I told you that massive party is just the tip of the iceberg? We're gonna dive in because the real story of Thailand's New Year goes so much deeper. This quote right here, it just nails it. It's the whole reason we're doing this explainer. The water fights are amazing, don't get me wrong, but if that's all you see, you're missing the ancient, spiritual soul of the festival. And that's what we're gonna find. So, yeah, that's the big question, isn't it? What is everyone missing? Well, we're missing a story filled with gods and goddesses, incredible astrological prophecies, and these really profound rituals of respect and renewal. So, stick with me, and let's go find out what we've all been missing. All right, first things first, you've got to give it up for the spectacle. I mean, every April, Thailand just transforms. The whole country becomes this gigantic arena for water-fueled fun. It brings in tourists from all over the world, turning cities like Bangkok and Chiang Mai into these vibrant, completely soaking wet parties. And that's a huge part of the modern Songkran experience. But then, right at the peak of all of this global fame, something really important happened. In 2023, UNESCO stepped in and officially recognized Songkran in Thailand as an intangible cultural heritage of humanity. Now, that kind of forces you to stop and ask, why, right? UNESCO isn't just celebrating a water fight, they're honoring a tradition that's absolutely packed with meaning. So let's look a little closer. So let's talk about the water itself. You know, out in the streets, it's a tool for massive party. But in the heart of the tradition, it's something else entirely. It's the central part of a deeply spiritual act. And this is where we start to find the festival's real soul. The first clue is in the name itself, Songkran. It actually comes from an old Sanskrit word, and it's all about movement, or an astrological passage. What it's really marking is the exact moment the sun moves into the constellation of Aries. So way before it was a water festival, it was a celestial event, marking the true start of the new year. And this is the absolute key takeaway. The water isn't for fighting, it's for purification. Every single splash is meant to symbolically wash away all the bad luck, the mistakes, the misfortunes of the year that just ended. It's like a nationwide spiritual reset button, getting everyone ready for a totally fresh, clean start. And you can see this quiet heart behind the loud celebrations in two core rituals. First, you have Songnam Pra. This is where people go to temples and gently pour jasmine-scented water over Buddha statues. It's this beautiful, quiet act of reverence. Then there's Rotnam Dam Hua. This one's really personal. Younger people pour fragrant water over the hands of their parents, their grandparents, all their elders, to show respect and to ask for their blessing for the new year. This right here, this is the gentle soul of Songkran. Okay, now here's where it gets even more interesting. Songkran isn't some uniform, one-size-fits-all festival. Nope. Thailand is an incredibly diverse country, and the New Year's celebration completely reflects that. Depending on what part of the country you're in, it can look and feel totally different. Check this out. In central Thailand, like in Bangkok, it's all about making merit, and of course, the fame of water play. And it's all presided over by a goddess, Nang Songkran. But if you go up north, the festival is called Pi Mai Moon, and they have their own unique traditions, like Dum Hua, which is a ritual hair washing for blessings, and it's overseen by a male god, Kun Songkhan. And then you've got the Mon ethnic group, whose celebration is just incredible, with these giant centipede flags and special shrines. It's really not just one festival, it's many. So let's go back to that goddess figure, Nang Songkran. She isn't just, a pretty face for a parade float. She's the main character in this ancient, super dramatic myth, a myth that's actually carved into stone tablets at the famous Wat Po Temple in Bangkok. This story basically sets the stage for the entire festival, every single year. Okay, so get this story. There's this god, Kabila Prom, who challenges a brilliant 7-year-old boy to a riddle contest. The stakes? Well, the loser gets beheaded. No pressure, right? So the boy, Thumbabal, is about to give up, but then he overhears a couple of birds talking about the exact answers to the riddles. So he wins. But now there's a huge problem. Kabila Prom has to keep his promise. But his head is so powerful that if it touches the ground, the world will catch fire. If it touches the ocean, the seas will dry up. So the only solution is for his 7 daughters to take turns, year after year, carrying his head on a golden tray so it never touches anything.
And here's the amazing part, the direct link between that wild myth and today. Those 7 daughters are the Songkran. Each one represents a day of the week. So the specific goddess, who takes charge of the new year, is decided by which day of the week Songkran, the main day of the festival, actually falls on. It changes every year, and guess what? Each goddess brings her own unique forecast for the year ahead.
Which brings us to the very near future. See, this ancient astrological system isn't just some dusty old story. It's a living tradition that people still use to make prophecies for the common year. So let's take a look at the actual predictions for 2026, which are tied to the specific goddess ruling that year. Let's find out, shall we? The day Songkran falls in 2026 happens to be a Tuesday, and because of that, we know exactly which of the 7 daughters is going to make her celestial appearance. And her forecast is, well, it's pretty intense. So, meet Nang Raksasadavi. She's the goddess for 2026, and she is a truly formidable figure. She rides a wild boar, she's armed with a trident and a bow, and her chosen food is blood. Yeah. And according to the lore, even her posture, standing on her vehicle, signals a year of really powerful energy, but it also comes with a warning of potential conflict and turmoil. And the prophecy gets super specific, especially about water, which is ironic for a water festival, right? Astrologers predict that out of 500 total rain showers for the year, only 50 of them, that's just 10%, will fall in the human world. The rest are going to fall over the oceans, a mythical forest, and the cosmos. This is all tied to a strong fire element for the year, which points to some serious water shortages and maybe even drought. And that fire element, it also hits the harvest hard. The prediction for agriculture is literally labeled Wibat, which means calamity. It warns that rice crops are going to be hit with insects and pests, leading to a harvest that's basically half spoiled and half salvageable. So in the middle of this huge celebration of water, the prophecy for 2026 is actually a pretty stark warning about not having enough of it. So, how do you square that? How do you have this incredibly joyous celebration alongside such a serious forecast? Well, that's the true genius of Songkran. It holds both things at once. It's got the party and the prayer, the joy and the warning, all in this perfect living balance. It's all about that spirit of renewal. This slide just captures that duality perfectly. On one side, you have the ancient spiritual advice for dealing with the 2026 prophecy. To appease a goddess who consumes blood, people are advised to donate blood, turning a fierce symbol into a literal life-saving act of merit. Then on the other side, you have the practical, modern rules for the party itself. No high-pressure water guns, no splashing people who don't want to play, and dress codes to keep everyone safe. It's ancient wisdom and modern public safety, working side by side. And really, that's the whole point. Songkran isn't some tradition that's stuck in the past, and it hasn't lost its soul to the party either. It's a living, breathing, evolving tradition. It's proof that you can have the world's biggest water fight out in the streets, while at the exact same time, you're honoring ancient rituals in the temples and listening to astrological warnings that are centuries old. So I'll just leave you with this question to think about. The next time you see pictures of Songkran, or maybe if you're lucky enough to be there yourself, try to think beyond just the splash. How can we embrace all the incredible joy of the party while also remembering and respecting those deep, powerful currents of purification, respect, and ancient wisdom that are flowing just beneath the surface?